Courtney Hadwin's story is one of the most surprising and emotional journeys in modern talent show history. Before millions of people around the world knew her name, she was simply a quiet young girl growing up in Bishop Auckland, a small town in England. From an early age, Courtney was known for being shy and nervous around other people. She did not enjoy being the center of attention in everyday life, and speaking in front of classmates or strangers made her feel uncomfortable. Many people who knew her as a child could never have imagined that she would one day perform on some of the biggest stages in the world. However, despite her quiet personality, Courtney had one special gift that made her different. She loved music. Singing gave her a confidence that she could not always find while talking to people. When she sang, she seemed to become a completely different person. Instead of looking nervous, she became full of energy and emotion. Her family noticed this special talent and supported her dream from a young age. Like many young singers, Courtney practiced constantly, learning songs from famous rock and soul artists whose powerful voices inspired her. She admired performers who were not afraid to show strong emotions through music. As she grew older, she began entering singing competitions to gain experience. One of her first major opportunities came when she appeared on The Voice Kids UK in 2017. Although she did not win the competition, her performances introduced her to a larger audience and helped her build confidence. More importantly, the experience taught her how professional music competitions worked. She learned how difficult it could be to perform under pressure while being judged by millions of viewers. Even though she left the competition without becoming a superstar, she did not give up on her dream. Instead, she continued practicing and believing that another opportunity would come. That determination would soon change her life forever. No one knew that the shy teenager from England was only one performance away from becoming an international sensation. Her journey proved that sometimes the biggest dreams begin in the quietest places, and that true talent can appear when people least expect it. Everything changed in 2018 when 13-year-old Courtney Hadwin walked onto the stage of America's Got Talent. At first, almost nobody expected what was about to happen. As she stood in front of judges Simon Cowell, Howie Mandel, Heidi Klum, and Mel B, Courtney appeared extremely nervous. She spoke softly and looked exactly like the shy teenager people imagined from her introduction. Some audience members probably believed she would struggle under the bright lights and pressure of such a huge stage. However, the moment the music started, everything changed. Courtney performed Hard to Handle, a classic song made famous by Otis Redding and later covered by other artists. Within seconds, the audience watched a completely different person appear before them. Her voice was powerful, rough, emotional, and filled with confidence. She moved across the stage with incredible energy that surprised everyone in the theater. The judges looked shocked as they realized they were witnessing something unforgettable. Howie Mandel was so impressed that he pressed the famous golden buzzer, sending Courtney directly to the live shows while golden confetti filled the air. The performance quickly spread across the internet and became one of the most talked about auditions of the season. Millions of people watched the video on YouTube, while news websites and television programs discussed the young singer from Britain. Many viewers compare her voice and stage presence to legendary artists like Janis Joplin because of the raw emotion she showed while performing. Almost overnight, Courtney became an international star. Interviews, television appearances, social media attention, and invitations to perform followed one after another. For many young performers, this kind of success would seem like the perfect dream. However, sudden fame can also bring unexpected pressure. People around the world began forming opinions about every performance, every interview, and every decision she made. Supporters praised her unique talent, while critics questioned her style and compared her to other singers. This new reality showed that success often comes with challenges that audiences cannot always see. Behind the exciting headlines and standing ovations was a young teenager still trying to understand her rapidly changing life, proving that fame can be both a wonderful opportunity and a difficult responsibility. After her unforgettable audition, Courtney Hadwin's life changed almost overnight. The young singer who had once lived a quiet life in a small English town suddenly found herself traveling, giving interviews, and performing in front of large audiences. Every appearance attracted more attention, and people wanted to know everything about the teenager with the powerful voice. While many fans celebrated her success, others began to criticize her unique singing style. Some people loved the raw emotion and energy she brought to every performance, while others felt her voice was too different from traditional singers. This mix of praise and criticism became a normal part of her daily life. Like many young performers, Courtney had to learn that becoming famous also meant becoming the subject of public opinion. Every performance was discussed online, every interview was analyzed, and every social media post received thousands of comments. For a teenager still growing up, this kind of attention could be difficult to handle. Despite these challenges, Courtney continued working on her music. She remained passionate about singing and wanted to develop her own identity as an artist instead of simply being remembered for one television performance. In 2019, she released the Cover Sessions, a collection of songs that showed her love for classic rock and soul music. These recordings allowed fans to hear more of her voice beyond the competition stage. Although the project received positive reactions from many supporters, it also reminded people that expectations were now much higher than before. Audiences wanted every performance to be even bigger than the last one. This pressure can affect even experienced artists, and for someone who was still in her teenage years, it was an especially demanding experience. Courtney often spoke about feeling nervous before performances, proving that confidence on stage did not mean she never experienced fear. In fact, many successful performers deal with stage fright throughout their careers. Her story showed that bravery is not the absence of fear but the ability to continue despite it. Instead of allowing criticism to stop her, Courtney focused on improving her skills and discovering the kind of artist she truly wanted to become. Her journey became an example of how success requires not only talent but also patience, determination, and emotional strength. As the years passed, Courtney began facing another challenge that many young celebrities experience: the difficult balance between public expectations and personal happiness. Fans often remember an artist for one unforgettable moment and expect every future performance to recreate that same excitement. For Courtney, her famous America's Got Talent audition became both a blessing and a challenge. Millions of viewers wanted to see the same energetic teenager every time she appeared on stage. However, people naturally change as they grow older, and musicians also develop new ideas, new interests, and new styles. Courtney wanted to continue learning and writing music that reflected her own personality rather than simply repeating the past. This is something many successful artists have experienced throughout history. Finding an original voice is often much harder than becoming famous in the first place. During this period, Courtney spent time improving her songwriting and exploring different musical directions. She understood that building a long-term career required more than one viral performance. It required creativity, patience, and the confidence to make artistic decisions that felt true to herself. Like many young entertainers, she also learned the importance of protecting her mental health. Constant public attention, social media discussions, and endless comparisons can become emotionally exhausting, especially for someone who became famous at such a young age. Many musicians have spoken openly about the importance of taking breaks, spending time with family, and stepping away from the spotlight when necessary. Courtney's journey reminds people that celebrities are ordinary human beings with the same emotions and struggles as everyone else. Behind every successful performance is hours of practice, self-doubt, and hard work that audiences rarely see. While headlines often focus on fame and success, the real story is usually about perseverance and personal growth. Courtney continued moving forward by concentrating on her music rather than allowing outside opinions to control her future. Her determination showed that lasting success is built not only through talent but also through staying true to your own dreams, even when the world expects something different. Although Courtney Hadwin became famous through a television talent competition, she never wanted her entire career to be defined by a single performance. As she grew older, she focused on becoming a complete artist rather than simply a viral sensation. This meant spending more time writing songs, recording music, and discovering the sound that truly represented her personality. Many young performers struggle with this stage of their careers because audiences often expect them to remain exactly as they were when they first became famous. However, every artist changes over time, and Courtney was no exception. Her voice became stronger and more mature, while her confidence as a songwriter continued to grow. She wanted listeners to understand who she was beyond the energetic teenager they first saw on America's Got Talent. Instead of chasing trends, she preferred creating music that felt honest and meaningful. This approach sometimes meant taking a slower path than other artists, but it also allowed her to develop naturally without rushing her creative process. Throughout these years, Courtney continued sharing new music with her supporters, who appreciated seeing her artistic growth. She also became more comfortable expressing herself through original songs instead of only performing covers. Writing her own lyrics gave her the opportunity to tell personal stories and connect with listeners on a deeper emotional level. At the same time, she learned valuable lessons about the music industry. Success is not only measured by chart positions or television appearances. It is also about building a career that allows an artist to remain true to their values. Many musicians eventually realize that creative freedom is one of the most important parts of long-term happiness. Courtney's journey reflects this idea. Rather than trying to satisfy every expectation placed upon her, she gradually focused on making music that she genuinely loved. Her fans also began appreciating this honesty, understanding that real artists continue growing throughout their careers. Instead of staying trapped by the image created during her first audition, Courtney worked hard to build a future based on authenticity, creativity, and personal development. This stage of her journey proved that lasting success comes from patience and dedication, not simply from one unforgettable moment in the spotlight. Another important part of Courtney Hadwin's story is the way she handled public attention while continuing to protect her personal life. In today's digital world, celebrities often face constant pressure from social media, online